I wanted to mention curcumin. I've talked about this before. The story I told was actually there were two. My mother and father are both dead, and when they were both sick, actually it was my mom. Her Alzheimer's. My father did such a good job, and my mother, too, at concealing the fact that she was in Alzheimer's in her 70s, that we didn't know until Dad died that Mom had Alzheimer's, and it was already pretty bad. But for years, Dad had this mesothelioma. He'd had lung cancer, and I had looked it up and found that curcumin, which is the active ingredient in turmeric, which is the stuff that they make curry out of, seemed to be helpful for lung cancers. And so my dad was taking a couple of capsules of curcumin every morning and every evening. And he lived so long with his mesothelioma. In fact, it's ultimately not what killed him, although you could say he died of it, or he died of complications of it. But he lived so long with it that he had sued some of the asbestos companies, and they came back and tried to claw back I think he got like $150,000 or something from them. They tried to claw back that money, and he had to go into the hospital and undergo a whole new biopsy just to prove that he still did have mesothelioma, and it actually was mesothelioma. Because typically, from the time you're diagnosed until the time you die is like just a matter of months, a year at the most. And I had my dad on this curcumin, and whether it was what helped him or not, I don't know. But my mom used to take them. And I just thought, hey, it's good for you, so what the heck? And my mom told me, and I can't tell you how many times she told me this, over and over and over, and I didn't put two and two together until after my dad died and we learned that she had Alzheimer's. She would, when Dad was getting low on this stuff, because I ordered it for them, so they would just show up on their doorstep. And she was like, we need some more of those yellow pills, Tom. I take those every morning and they make my mind sharper. Verbatim quote from my mother, who is at that time dealing with early Alzheimer's. So here comes this report from Life Extension magazine. And you can look them up on the internet, and I think they've got a free newsletter. It's by Judy Stevens, and it's titled Curcumin, Aging Brains and Cancer. And this is newly published data about curcumin continues to astonish scientists, physicians, and the lay public. Curcumin, the active component of the spice turmeric, has a long history in Chinese and Indian medicine, and modern science has discovered that this ancient compound can drastically impact neurodegenerative diseases and cancer. While neurodegeneration and cancer may seem unrelated, they have multiple mechanisms in common. These include dysfunctional chemical signaling in the cells and abnormal gene regulation, as well as a vulnerability to chemical stress and inflammation. In a remarkable finding, researchers have discovered that when mice were supplemented with curcumin, they experienced a significant increase in formation of new neurons, particularly in the memory-critical hippocampal area of the brain. And they actually cite the studies here. This is from a study by Kim Song Park et al. Titled Curcumin Stimulates Proliferation of Embryonic Neural Progenitor Cells and Neurogenesis in the Adult Hippocampus. It was published in the Journal of Biological Chemistry. Another one, curcumin-induced histone hypoacetylation enhances CPase-3 dependent glioma cell death and neurogenesis, blah, blah, blah. So, all the references are there, all the science are there. The importance of curcumin as a broad-spectrum shield against the impact of aging continues to be confirmed by the scientific community. And here's how it works now. And there's a study for each one of these things. I mean, this is not claims. These are, they back this stuff up with real science. It binds to metal ions that induce oxidative stress in brain cells and promote beta amyloid development. In other words, it binds to the metal ions. I would think probably aluminum is the main one that has been associated with dementia. Beta amyloid, by the way, is the stuff that produces the neurofibrillary tangles characteristic in the brain of Alzheimer's. Number two, it directly protects against oxidative damage, exceeding that of vitamin E, removing a major stimulus for beta amyloid formation. Number three, it lowers cholesterol, which has been shown to limit beta amyloid plaque formation. Number four, it reduces levels of pro-inflammatory signaling molecules. These are called cytokines that also promote beta amyloid, which is Alzheimer's. It limits oxidation of crucial fats and proteins that trigger the main enzyme involved in beta amyloid formation. It promotes cleanup of existing beta amyloid deposits by brain macrophage cells, and it induces stress-responsive heat shock proteins that protect brain cells from beta amyloid toxicity. And then they go through curcumin in aging brain, curcumin in the Alzheimer's disease, curcumin in cancer. Curcumin reduces the risk of strokes and cardiovascular disease. Now, about 1/5 of the world's population eats curcumin on virtually a daily basis. Curcumin is the core ingredient, turmeric, of curry. And curry is a core food for pretty much everybody who lives in India and most of the people who live in, many of the people who live in Southeast Asia. And I'm fascinated by the whole thing. So anyhow, now I've been taking curcumin since I was giving it to my mom and dad, which was, 15 years ago. I take it every day, and, well, I can't say that, I'm a double-blind test, but I'm still here. Anyhow, just an FYI for you, our geeky science for the day.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.